I know this blows people's minds, but it's an actual trade for macro, and like it's a risk. It's an actual risk to take a third, as opposed to, hey, I can take this third without even bothering, like you can on Calderine or any of those really, really large maps.
This is why I really like this one instead of Xel'Naga, is the fact that it's not so hard for Zerg to take a third, whereas if you were on Xel'Naga, you'd have to break down rocks to get to any third that was even somewhat nearby.
Definitely does have a very hard time in the mid-game expanding on Xel'Naga, unless you take
and
like,
I know
the far away ones that are like not the only ones that aren't actually blocked off by rocks, like on the extreme side, you can take those, but unless you go Mutiling, which you should because Mutiling is amazing, but unless you do that, it's really hard to defend.
Oh yeah.
You know, I know you guys keep comparing this map, and I'm playing it right now. I know you guys keep comparing it to Xel'Naga Caverns and stuff, but you also gotta remember that size-wise, it's the same size as Shakuras Plateau. That's one of the things that they tried to point out was that while this map seems smaller, it's actually the same size as Shakuras Plateau, which is why it leads to such more intense macro games.
Oh, definitely. No, it's definitely much closer to Shakuras Plateau than anything, just because you can tell by the way that the bases are set up. You've got two right next to each other and then a pocket. That's exactly like Shakuras Plateau. Maybe a little less broken for Terran, because Terran can't just put tanks everywhere and be fine.
Yeah.
Like you can on Shakuras, because like, oh, I'm up on the high ground, what are you gonna do? Nothing. I didn't think so. And then you can shell your third from your natural. It's like, what?
One thing I do like about this comparing Shakuras now is the fact that if you're Protoss or something and you try to Forge Fast Expand or Terran, you just completely wall off. There's that like little backdoor gate to hell thing to the natural that you can actually like somewhat do something to keep them from taking it.
That was my first point. Yeah, the little gates of hell that you can have. It's not the Texas Common Knowledge hallway either, so it's nice. Yeah, moving on to Entombed Valley. Arid Plateau, it gets like a B+. It's really good. I really like it.
I like
it. It's not perfect, but I like it. Entombed Valley, I completely despise forever, simply because if you're a Protoss, and Blue Dragon said this, he doesn't usually take a third as Protoss, which I have no idea why you would want to do that, because once you get 3 bases as Protoss, you're basically GGing everything. But it's just like it's like a 3-step plateau, which doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like, okay, well, it's like Shakuras Plateau, except broken. It's like, okay, so we've got this, and yet you still have a ramp. It's not a huge ramp, it's just a normal sized ramp. Fuck off. It's basically saying, like, here, we have Shakuras Plateau, but we have it in a way that's so easy to defend that if you don't, you're an idiot. And then immediately to the left, you've got rocks. You can just break through, take a third, and like, okay, if I don't attack a Protoss, like I don't know why I would do this, but just saying like, if I thought like, okay, I'm gonna do a macro game, I'm gonna do like a 1-base gasless expand and try and get a 3rd base. If I do that, by the 13-minute mark, Protoss will have 3 bases, and I will be completely curb stomped.
Exactly.
It's just like, what the hell is that? Like I actually, the first time I played it, it was like a DT rush, and I like fucking swatted it away. But it doesn't matter, because by the time their DT rush was done, they had already gotten their 3rd. Because DTs do a shit ton of damage, and they just broke down the rocks, took a 3rd, and I was like, okay, now I can literally do nothing. It's just like, I downloaded the map, and like, I can talk about all the little extra things that it has that would make it a good map, like the bases in the middle that you can kind of, abuse if you're Terran, or like the little things over on the side that gives you alternative attack paths, which I was really excited about before, but you can't use them because you can't get to the late game. There's no late game on Entombed Valley, unless you're on a TVT, in which case there's always a late game because it's TVT.
I look at this, and I feel like the artist who made this map took Tyrion Crater and tried to fix it.
It's kind of what it feels like.
And they failed.
Oh, very, very hard.
No input because I have not played on the map.
I'm just looking at the picture right
I've played like 10 things on both maps, and I'm just like, oh my god, Entombed Valley, why do you hate me?
I just downloaded it.
I was so nice to you before you were released. I was like, this is going to be a fun map. And then it said, no, Osborne, fuck you, and then fuck me in the ass, 8 Protoss. And the sad part is, like, the 2 times I got TVT, I had fun. It was great. It was like this big thing with like a lot of positioning, and you had to break down rocks, and you had to do all this stuff with tanks. It was like, okay, this is great, but
I was gonna say
this awesomeness does not make up for the fact that Protoss and Zerg on this map are retarded.
Zerg is a lot less retarded than Protoss, because I actually had a great, like, hour-long macro game against Terran player on it, and that matchup, like, I know you hate my matchup when I do ZBT Oz, but I mean, it was kind of like our epic hour-long game where we were just back and forth the entire time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it had potential, and they ruined it. Like,
I do like
they really didn't go with what I expected, and it's too big to be a micro map, but it's not well balanced enough to be anything else.
I mean, one thing I do like is that there's a really wide open middle. I absolutely like that with huge open middles.
Yeah, the open middle that's what I was excited about. It's like it's got this big open middle, it's got this one Zilnaga tower that people are gonna be fighting over, it's got all these little attack paths. And if there's a game that actually gets to the late game, it's a great matchup. It's fun. It's great. There's positioning battles. There's things. There's like mutalisks flying over here, Zerglings over here, tanks over here. All this stuff. It's great until a Protoss comes over, gets 3 bases, and steamrolls everything in its sight.
Which is pretty much what every TOS player is doing on the map. They're all forge fast expanding.
Exactly, because there's no reason not to. There's absolutely zero reason not to forge fast expand on that map because it's so easy to defend.
I mean, they're doing forge fast expands against Terran and other TOS on the map right now. That's how stupid it is.
Yeah, it's not balanced. Unless you've got 2 Protoss doing forge fast expands against each other, which might be a good game, but of course, in PvP no one actually does. But whatever.
I look at this and I would be like, okay, I'm gonna Nexus first. Like, I wouldn't even put a forge down on this map.
Well, you don't have to, but, I mean, yeah, but that's the problem. It's like, it's supposed to be a good map for those kinds of things, but it's not. It's just, they make it into I'm going to go into the mid-game and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. So, now that we've worked that one over the coals like it was a little girl.
Fucking Tomb Valley, son. Fuck it.
Yeah. More or less.
If they fix it a little bit, I'd say remove those rocks and put a wall.
Ditch it.
No.
There's nothing you can do to save that. You start from scratch. Team Liquid just did this amazing thing where they got this giant freaking contest of map makers. They have all these amazing maps, and they didn't use jack all in anything. No, Blizzard just completely ignored it. And they put it in Tomb Valley and Arid Plateau. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Why do we even have great maps that no one's going to pay attention to?
Blizzard actually paid Team Liquid to have that kind of contest. Last time I checked. I might be wrong, but I do know Blizzard have some part of this. I mean, either they paid Team Liquid to host it or they tell Team Liquid to host it. Somehow, the Team Liquid got the idea from Blizzard and hosting it, and you have all these amazing maps, which I don't understand, because these people should be working for Blizzard and make the map pool for us every season. But unfortunately, they're rather sick with the one they have, which is in making crappy maps for us, which is making the game no fun. Because there's always one thing that screwed us every time.
IP had a really good map contest a little while ago. Like, some of those maps were... I really love some of those.
Dude, I actually used some of the IPL maps in the Steven Pennegar LAN tournament I did this past month. I've used Atlantis Spaceship and Sandshore Mist. Holy crap, we had some awesome games on those.
The one that I really liked, I don't remember which one it was, but it was the one, instead of like having a gold base, there was that one in the middle that had like the 3rd gas geyser.
Yeah, that's Atlantis Spaceship.
I thought that was the coolest idea ever.
It was. Oh my god, that one gives you so much gas so quickly. I love playing on that one.
Random chick dancing in the background.
Got a random chick in the room.
Is that your sister?
He can't hear us, but anyways.
Wow, okay.
Did anybody hear about Jinro joining EG?
Yeah, I heard about that. That's
Yeah.
going to be interesting. At least there'll be a Terran in there now.
Yeah. I mean, the only really good Terrans that they had was Puma. Machine was pretty good.
Machine is decent. It's just he
Wait,
hasn't
actually,
really
this
been
is
performing
Machine.
lately.
He's been trying that new mech Terran deathball style.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Excuse me. The Muslim, anybody?
Well, okay. He must
Number one on
kinda
both the
can't
European
really
and the North
talk
American
about-
Grandmasters League. What?
I don't pay attention to the ladder.
Yeah.
Because ladder doesn't really mean
Well,
anything
dude, you
anymore.
guys want to know something cool? My coworker fought the Muslim. Legit on the
Define.
ladder.
Oh, I was about to say, define.
No, he
font.
got raffle stomped like he was a little girl.
That's to be expected.
And he's a Masters random. He's pulling a day 9 up in this bitch, and he's still got raffle stomped.
I just threshold to where he's a great player yet.
Yeah.
He's like right there though, but he's
I think that EG is too busy pimping the shit out of fucking
Idra.
Idra to care.
yeah.
Mhm.
Also in control for whatever fucking reason.
Well, that's because In Control's going to be a caster, and In Control's actually.
He's a
Yeah.
terrible caster.
He's a funny guy though.
I don't care. He's a bad caster. He's bad at casting.
I love In
But
Control.
he's dating Miss Oregon.
I don't give. Oh wow, that's Then he's totally gonna be focusing on the game. That's probably why he's a bad caster.
I love In Control, but he should just stick to streaming.
Yeah, he's a great streamer. I love his comedy stuff, like his funny shit.
Oh, he's a great podcaster. He's a great personality, but he's not a good caster.
Well, they need
It's
a
like
good
TLO. TLO
personality.
is great. I
What-
love
what's
TLO. Cannot cast.
They need a good personality though. What's their alternative? Idra? Idra's way too focused on the game. Huh?
Yeah.
You know,
Hut
you know
sounds
who
like
everyone
a
loves?
boy.
Who everybody loves.
Yeah,
Right.
everybody loves those two guys as players.
You didn't hear me. You didn't hear what I said, did you? I said Strife Pro. Everyone loves Strife Pro. Strife Pro is the fucking personality of Team EG. No one knows about it because they don't actually, talk about Strife Pro ever. But if you actually listen to the streams and like all this stuff, you hear Strife Pro, he's hilarious.
Oh God, yeah. I've heard him a couple times. It's just In Control is more.
Fat.
It's just more. Shut up! I'm a fat guy. I know that.
Oz, hop on StarCraft 2, goddammit.
Why?
Because I told you to. I need a guinea pig.
I guess In
Do it later.
Control just is able to take control of certain funny things.
Ha ha ha.
No, this is what In Control does.
You fuck that guy.
Yeah.
That's what In Control does. That's
Massive
In Control's
control,
main
all in
fucking
that bitch.
punchline.
Okay.
Just on the
We need to
stage.
get back on topic.
Okay.
Okay.
General.
Next thing is day 9 being in the Forbes 30 under 30.
What does that entail?
It means that he is such a big influence on certain things. Like he's running his own business. That Forbes, one of the most economical,
I know what
biggest
Forbes
economic
is.
voice.
You know what Forbes is.
For those
As
who
much as I
don't,
don't want to.
one of the biggest economic magazines
Fiscal.
in the world, and fiscal magazines. That's just fucking awesome. Because this is an esports caster. This isn't somebody who's trying to...
This is somebody who's been in every aspect of esports.
Exactly. And that's how big esports has gotten. That's the milestone. And
I don't know why everyone's very surprised about it, considering last year they had 3 different people that were all in the tech industry, not necessarily esports, but it's all the marketing that went into esports. You know, the people that came up with the BZ auction site, they were in Forbes top 30 under 30. Because there were 2 25-year-old guys that decided, wait a second, we figured out a way to scam money out of people. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. We're going to see more people that are more tech savvy, and especially when it comes to the esports world, because in time of recession, I mean, look at me. Ever since I got laid off, I've done nothing but StarCraft 2 and job applications. It's basically what happens when you don't have a job. So with that, everyone in the esports community gets better and more attention because more people are paying attention.
Well, the thing about that is it's esports where majority